Hello and welcome to Stratimoto, Diaries of a Delivery Driver. I've got no idea what I'm calling this. Out on a beautiful day in Wellington. So, welcome to Stratimoto. I'm a delivery driver in Wellington, working for a nondescript company. The sky is turning this way, all good. If you've never seen Wellington, then this is your ticket. This is the way to see the beautiful city, otherwise known as the Windy City, or the Big C, the capital of New Zealand. In case you hadn't already figured it out, we're in New Zealand, baby. Just let you go. For those of you that don't know, or haven't already picked it up, Wellington has got quite a prolific community of riders, as in motorcycle riders, also bicycle riders, and scooter riders, and ghost riders. That was a stupid joke. I'm not sure why this is. You're okay. Okay, cool. I'm not sure why this is exactly. I think a factor, watch out lady, don't want to get hurt. I think a factor in the reason for having so many bikes in Wellington is narrow streets, winding everywhere, aren't the best for cars, for parking, and just for simple navigation. For being able to maneuver a car around skinny streets, it's not the greatest. And also parking on skinny streets, and lest I mention, parking in the city is apparently horrendous. As someone who parks in the city, you know, on a constant rate, multiple times a night, I find no issue. But that's only because I'm parking in loading zones usually, or I'm just breaking the law and I don't give a fuck. But usually I'm a law-abiding citizen. And I'm not gonna, oh, look at that, that's a little freewheeler. Little interesting little scooter there. It changes the game a little bit, because you might look at a car and be like, yeah, that thing can't lean specifically, which is true. They've got 4 points of contact with the road, and they're not really changing. You know, not counting the slight change in tilt when cornering at high speeds, a car doesn't really lean like a motorbike does. But you might wonder, how the hell does a three-wheeled scooter lean? Well, each of the front wheels are actually on separate forks, and they lean independently of each other. You're leaning left, the inner fork is compressed and the wheel comes up further, the outer fork's spread out, and I don't really need to indicate here, but it's just a courtesy thing. And the scooter then leans like a motorcycle, but it's pseudo like a motorcycle. So today I'm on the way to Boom Burger, a burger restaurant in central Wellington, and I've got a double on my hands. That means I'm picking up 2 orders and then hopefully going to the same suburb or similar location and delivering to 2 different customers. Which means, economically speaking, that's good for me. And for the rest of the world. It means I have to travel into the city less often. This guy is gonna go, even though he's not allowed to. He's gonna get hit by me. Wellington is quite scary, the traffic. It's quite notorious, really. Notoriously bad traffic. Not as bad as some cities, but it's still pretty bad. Thanks, mate. This guy isn't really meant to be there, but that's cool. Get off the road! No feet, no feet, no feet. Oh, no feet, yo! Okay, it's after 5, so that is a taxi stand, not a loading zone. So I can't park there. Let's park down here, shall we? Let's watch out for this lady. We're just gonna do a bit of a little jiffy here, and I will see you soon. Off we go. We've done our first pickup. Right from there, boom burger, and we're on the way to Island Bay. Let's let these PEDs get out of the way, and then let's just head off. Today, we're going to Island Bay, which is, it's a wee bit out of the way compared to the central suburbs, that's for sure. But we've got this arterial road here which goes down to a suburb called Newtown and beyond to Island Bay, and we can access the southern coast that way because we are on the coast here in Wellington. We're in an inlet of sorts on the edge of a peninsula, a mini peninsula. On that peninsula, suburbs such as Miramar, Seatoon, Southgate, Evans Bay, Karaka, stuff like that. And so, yeah, we're heading down there, not to Miramar, but south down to Island Bay, and it should be good. This guy's doing some interesting braking maneuvers. I was probably a bit close to it there for that little section. Wanted to get out of the intersection though. I didn't expect them to be braking so flamboyantly. That's not a word. I mean, it is a word. I don't think it's the appropriate word. Let's just do a quick head check and let's just head on through. Always head check, people. Always head check. But make sure you are also aware of what's in front of you. Sometimes you might have a close call where you're so focused on head checking that you don't realize that the vehicles in front of you have started braking, and that's where we get issues. And here we have Newtown, Island Bay. I hope the wind noise isn't too painful on the ears. I have no idea what the quality generally of this excursion will be, so we'll see. But hey, first for everything, I'm just giving it a shot. And in giving it a shot, I do think I must pay my respects to those that inspired me. That might sound actually a little bit lame, but I do gotta say that this is obviously not an original endeavor. I've had the pleasure of enjoying many motovloggers before myself. He gave me a little head nod. I'll take that. Walterific is probably the biggest motovlogger out there in terms of doing something similar to what I'm doing. Talking to a camera while riding. So you've really got to pay homage to the greats. He's a very successful motovlogger. If you haven't heard of him, then by all means, search him up. I'm not going to affiliate my channel with his directly, so I won't be putting anything in the description or anything, but if you want to, Walterific, you can give it a search. RJ, aka Royal Jordanian, a London motovlogger. He doesn't talk on his rides, which I respect, and decide to, you know, go a different way, but he doesn't talk, but he does provide very enjoyable content in and around London, and also on his travels. Africa, a tour of Africa was something that he's recently done. Oh, a little bit of uncertainty. Oh, braking at a green light, okay. Yeah, that's cool. Let's just keep going 20. That's all good. But where are we going? I think we're going down here. Now, perhaps the most important motovlogger in this whole debate is another local like myself. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. If they're a local, I'm not even a local. I'm not even originally from here. I don't know where this motovlogger's from, but I'll have you know that they've definitely paved the way. So, I would like to pay my respects to Tank Girl. Gosh darn, it's windy. But as I was saying, Tank Girl is a Wellington-based motovlogger that has created quite a few videos and has quite a nice little following. It's respectable, that's for sure. It's actually crazy. I want to share the story of how I found Tank Girl. I was watching Do It With Dan, one of the most famous motovloggers out there, an American motovlogger like most of them. And in Do It With Dan's intro, there was a small, like, kind of compilation of other motovloggers giving him a shout out. Pretty much other motovloggers introducing who you're about to watch. And I decided to just go through the list. He would include on the screen the name of the motovlogger when they gave the shout out, and I just went through the list. I just started with the first one and I just searched them up, I found them, and I watched them if I liked them. To cut what really is a short story long, I found that most motovloggers weren't really my taste. I didn't really enjoy most of them, apart from one. Or two, I can't remember. But one really stuck out, and I was like, hey, this person, they seem cool, and I like what they're doing. With the YouTubes. So I subscribed way back when, a few years ago, and I was enjoying what I was seeing. And it was only later on when I realized those are a few recognizable buildings. Those are a few recognizable streets. Wait a minute. Does this person have a Kiwi accent? And yeah, turns out that this motovlogger that I happened to pick out from the crowd of a Do It With Dan motovlogging compilation was a New Zealander like moi. The story is that I was supporting them before I knew we were from the same country. Is what I'm trying to say. So, Tank Girl, this goes out to you. Thanks for being an inspiration. And I know that you've been struggling with your own motivation in creating videos. Or maybe you're not. And hey, change is fine. So maybe you might not be wanting to make videos anymore, and that is totally up to you. I know that motivation is something huge for me, as in, I have no motivation. So it has a big impact. A lack of something so important has a big impact on your life. And So I definitely know how you feel in regards to making videos, and I'm gonna try, for your sake and for mine, to keep this up. I'm gonna try and make a video. Maybe every week, every 2 weeks, we'll see. I'll be able to set myself proper deadlines once I have a proper system. Who knows if this video even worked, but if it did, then thank you so much for tuning in. This has been Stratimoto, riding around the streets of Wellington as a delivery driver. So, I wish you bon voyage, safe journeys. For those of you that ride, stay safe, wear the gear all the time. And I love you, and thanks for listening. Ta-da!